All right, ladies and gents, welcome. Hope you're having a nice day out there. We've got 8 kings, and it looks peaceful right now, but these kings will eventually explode. And it is regicide, it is diplomacy, which means 8 people from our community. They can choose to ally each other, they can choose to enemy each other, and of course attack each other at any time. Starting it all off in the blue, we have Shulker. Shulker's been around for a while. Shulker's playing as the Vikings. In the orange, we have Bulgarians for Eloyd. Eloyd playing as the Bulgarians. In the red, we've got Dale Mack playing as the Chinese. In the pink, we have WDW Kid playing as the Khmer. In the yellow, we've got Ivan Khan playing as the Tatars. In the green, we have Just Out of Range playing as the Burgundians. On the teal, we have Crackers, also known as Lieutenant Crackers, also known as the creator of the T90 sound mod. Playing as the Koreans. And then in the gray, we've got Some Noob, which is a fun name to talk about. I'm sure we'll see more of him throughout the game. And he did say in the Discord when some other player was debating on joining, we had this weird issue where he was like super new to the community. He didn't even know what he was signing up for and decided not to play. Some Noob was like, hey, low elo brethren, let's go. We're going to be buddies for life. So look to see him chat it up maybe and ally people early on. The map is mega random, as it says at the top. And it's an interesting generation. Not the craziest I've ever seen. It does look like the players start with a horse as opposed to a scout. And then, of course, they have the king as well. So you've got to be careful where you move with that thing. But still. Everyone has allied everyone at this stage. So they're all good friends. And I'm wondering if this ice terrain can be sailed over. Because sometimes you can sail over this type of ice. Like the snow you can't. But it would be an interesting map, Jen, if you could sail over that ice. I know you can't build on it. So if you wanted to build a castle or barracks there, it wouldn't be possible. So that does have like a natural opening. But again, we'll find out later on. As far as skill levels go, I'm a little uncertain on this one. I do recognize the majority of these names. I think Eloyd and Some Noob might be playing in their first game. Though Some Noob does ring a bell. And then there are other names that have noobs in it, though, so I might be getting confused. Some Noob doesn't look like a noob, though. Pushing in deer and everything, too, so I think that could definitely be a trap. Just Out of Range says, I have an interview in an hour, so we're going to get rich or die trying. Dude, that is not something you want to say to the rest of the world here. I mean, first off, congratulations on the interview. I hope it goes well. I would personally suggest to tell them you spend a great deal of time watching someone talk about other people play video games and ask them if they like Age of Empires 2. And then if they say, what's that? Just stare at them awkwardly and then leave the room. But you don't want to let people know that you have an exploding king and you probably have to leave in an hour because then people aren't going to trust you and they might be killing you early. But then again, I guess you're going to make it to the interview, so... I mean, we've had a few instances where people just straight up don't have time because of what's going on, and they just go out with a bang. Like, actually, WDW Kid was one of the players who detonated a king in like, the first 20 minutes of a game somewhat recently. I think it was last month. So right after Green said that, he's like, oh, I know what this means, and says, I'm assuming you're near me, Green. Shall we be friends? I think this was simply just Purple trying to save himself. Because Purple might have a little bit more time today. Just reschedule the interview. Yeah, I guess you could do that. All right, I'm still getting used to the awesome addition we have here. The power text at the top right. I was going to ask Capture Age to remove the power tech wording there. Because I felt like it was unnecessary. But it's kind of fun now. So who knows? WDW Kid might just want to be friends with everybody else. It says, friends, we are close and have a good location. I assume this is because Purple ran right past Red here. Maybe spotted something. Well, guys, I have to say, I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Because there hasn't been a ton of chatter so far. Dale says sure. And leaves it at that. Shulker also forgot to have the mods downloaded, which shows me Shulker maybe hasn't played the game in a bit. That's a really frustrating thing, though, how the mods always change. For my current job, I played AW2 on the interview and spent 15 minutes talking about it. Really? Well, that's nice. I mean, I feel like people should be more comfortable talking about their passions. But all I'm saying is, like, if they say, what are your strengths when they're trying to think about hiring you, you probably shouldn't say, I do an amazing job trolling T90 when he's streaming Age of Empires 2. Or I don't think your Age of Empires 2 elo would matter for your resume. You know, you got to have a little bit of a balance there. I mean, I personally actually shut up and never told anyone, even my coworkers or my bosses, anything, that I did this part-time back in the day. I didn't tell anybody. And maybe that was wrong of me. I remember my boss, who I had worked with for 4 years at that point, was completely shocked and literally thought I was joking when I said that I was putting in my 2 weeks. And because I was going to do YouTube full time is what I said. And she laughed. She was like, oh, that's funny. And then she's like, wait, what? And then I had to fill her in. Hey, Purple, only to you. Want to trade on the Northeast smiley face? Gotta like the smiley face. And WDW Kid says yes. And so all the traffic, all the chatter has gone through WDW Kid, who I've never asked what WDW stands for. WD-40? WD, what? Doubt would to know. Maybe you guys know what WDW stands for. I certainly don't. I think you can turn this into a quirky anecdote that makes you seem relatable to your new coworkers and bosses. Yeah, I know. I feel like you just got to have a balance with it, right? But listen, even though I feel like I have sound advice when it comes to job interviews and whatnot, at the end of the day, I'm a little far removed from that situation these days. Though I obviously had plenty of job interviews and real working experience prior to getting the opportunity to do this for my job. Yeah, I don't really know if she, watches my content these days. I imagine she does not, but I know that my channel was kind of passed around and people kind of followed my progress after I left my job. Because it was like I had worked with the same people for like 4 or 5 years at that point, and switched locations and opened new stores and things like that. So it was kind of a bit of a family, I guess you could say, right? Some noob says, Cyan Blue, talking only to you, both ally up. And so that would be the players that are on either side of gray. So it seems pretty tactical so far, a lot of this stuff. I'm still a little curious about Green, who said that there's a job interview, and clearly Green's probably going to want to land that job interview. Cracker says, sure, I'm down. Perfect. World Demolition Wars, Walt Disney World, Whiskey Damn Whiskey. Oh man, Shulker, you do not want to kill that king. That could end up killing you.
Yes.
Shulker accepts the deal to be allies. This is what the ecos look like right now. Oh, it's a pretty even game. You can see the players who are fishing do have a bit more eco overall. Actually, I want to look and see if any of the ships are going over this ice. I guess they have no real reason to go this way, but you see how they're traveling over parts of it? So I doubt it'll be a factor, but I do actually believe that you could sail. Yeah, see that? I think that you can sail whole navies across the ice here. Again, don't think that will be a big factor this game unless someone really wants to get creative. Like cannon galleons there would be really cool to be able to snipe someone that way, even transport ships. Can you turn off the making tributes? Actually, I'm going to keep the tributes on, but you reminded me to remove the market buy and sell events. I always have to have the market buy and sell events on for 1v1s. But in community games, it gets really crazy. So thanks for the reminder there. Yeah, demo shots in those areas too would be really strong. But again, you really have to be mindful of that. And I feel like, no offense to the viewers listening here, I just don't think most would be. I am coming in here with quite a bit more experience. Someone in the YouTube comments actually did the math recently when I said how much time I've spent on Age of Empires 2 DE, which comes out to about 6,500 hours since the game came out, which is less than 3 years ago. And they said it was about 25 to 30% of all my possible time was spent on that. But considering about 40 to 50% of my time is sleep, maybe not 50%, but let's say like 35 to 40% is sleep, that's a lot of time. Arvid, my new couch is awesome. Still not sure why that became a meme. I was waiting for a couch delivery one day, and then people said they wanted couch pics. And I have yet to release such couch pics, but the couch is very comfy, thank you. Ooh, market's already here from Yellow. Okay, a little bit of chatter, nothing crazy. Some noob did say, let's take water, and some noob is really taking charge for someone who's a noob. Okay. No couches, guys. No couches. It's a nice couch, though. I can't complain. According to Malcolm Gladwell, you need 10,000 hours before you can be considered an expert. Well, that is 6,500 on only the definitive edition. And then I spent pretty much all my time nonstop as red has been turned on for some reason. Oh, wow. Gray's taking water already. This guy is not a noob. And he says, sorry, red, don't like the color red. Wow. But yeah, I spent, tons of time from 2013 to 2019 as well. I've tried to do the math on how many hours I think I've spent on the game. And if I had to guess, I would say it's like between 20 and 25,000. I think 20 is like the low point. Again, I could be wrong. And that would also include like times I'm recording things where I may not have the game open or any type of additional time I might spend as a content creator. Well, sorry, Perp. I don't like them fishing shipperoonies. I like the word shipperoony. So Gray is just trying to win water, but Gray is making a lot of enemies, which generally isn't very smart. And also letting everyone know that you're attacking somebody. Can you guys make a market in the bottom corner? Shulker says mine. I guess Shulker has the market here. Of course, he wants a market in the bottom corner. So yeah, I would be considering Gray to be enemy number 1 right now. And Purple says, did Gray attack your water too? So these guys are now united, even more so because they have a common enemy. That always matters.
Yes.
So it's kind of, at least in my view right now, it's shaping up like this is going to be a standard team game. I'm not seeing any army from players here. Let me just double check that. Yeah, like the military count is very low overall with Gray leading because of the ships. This can happen sometimes. Ivan says, hi, Red, only to you. Want to be BFFs with Purple and me in trade in the north, question mark. Purple says, good to know. Red says, he is our target. Says, seems like a mistake from him. Yeah, so I mean, like, these guys are now like, all right, well, that guy's really mean and bad, and he also has pretty high scores, so, like, he's definitely our enemy. Because sometimes there's a question of who do I want to attack? There's no question here. That's 2.5 years of nonstop playing, if my calculation is right. Yeah, it's a lot of time. But, I have been full-time now since 2017. At least, work-wise, right? And then, of course, prior to that, I spent at least like 20 to 30 hours on the game when I was working full-time as well. So it's been a lot of time with Age of Empires 2. And it's still here, still rocking it, guys. Still, not everyone's tired of me. I know some people have grown tired of me. That's just natural. And to those people, we miss you, but we'll welcome you back at any time. And Gray now turns on green. What's the story going to be here? Huh. I love you, but... Green, I love you, but save your ships. And then Green just says... Holy. I love the way Purple explains this. Gray is going to try to die. He's just like, Gray is setting himself up to die is what I believe that means. And Gray says, I know you are, but what am I? And then Yellow said, Green says, stick a finger in your eye. Isn't there more to that saying? I forget it. No, you are, but what am I? Stick a finger in your eye. Yeah, it's all coming back from grade school, man. What if Gray never heard that? He's like, wait, what? Why would I do that? Doesn't sound good. So I'm going to be honest. Attacking the guy's fishing ships who said he has limited time here is not a very smart move. And by the way, this player is moving around with cav archers, which shows potential snipe could be coming in. Does everyone have their kings garrisoned? Seems like it. Orange does. Blue does. Gray obviously is an enemy. Yeah, sometimes people leave their kings out, but I don't think that's happening here. T90, where do you find your motivation to continue streaming and playing AoE2? Well, I really like the game, and I really like making content, and I have a really supportive... Oh, the king just went into the castle. Yikes, man, that was freaky. So green wanted to snipe purple of all people. Dang. I think so, but yeah, honestly, I never really stopped liking it. Not going to say that I don't work too hard sometimes and get exhausted and want some, breaks away from it here or there, but I really like what I do, so. And I'm happy that it hasn't really changed. But yes, what I should have said is because of this awesome community, but it also, even if you guys were freaking awesome and I started to not like the game anymore, that would be tough for me, right? I really like the game. I really like what I do. I really enjoy casting the variety of game modes that I do, and you guys are really supportive with it too. So, I just feel at home, Okay, red being funny with those CA, and then he says green. I mean, now red now turned on gray, which was expected. And gray says red got lots of monks. Not really. I only see 3 monks here. It was probably just to get some relics. Little bit of a confusing battle. But the biggest talking point here is just the fact that Gray has put a massive target on his back. Gray, whether you get sniped here or not, you definitely made this game interesting. Every game needs that heal, needs that player that goes against the grain and does the thing. You do branch out from time to time, and the community and the awesome community is still there. Yeah, I mean, these days, having switched platforms, I stream a ton more, right? And so, for that reason, I like to have an evening here or there where I do switch it up. And I cannot cast, at least with the energy, on the level I like to cast for 40 hours a week. I just can't do it. So I mix in some gameplay as well here or there, which I'm not necessarily known for, but yeah, like I said, I never really felt like I was going to get sick of this game. It's a special game and it's lasted a very long time for a reason, and I fully understand I could easily be doing, I had not got lucky, I could be doing something else with my life right now, and I don't know what on earth that would be, but I could tell you it wouldn't be as fulfilling and as motivating as this, so very lucky. To be honest, can you imagine T90 in any other job, like working in a hospital or store or police station or whatever? That's a good question. To all viewers out there right now, if you would picture me doing some other job, something else with my life, what would you say? I'm terrified. Now, I know since you guys probably have followed my Instagram, your instinct is going to be to say male model, okay? But don't say that because that's the obvious one, all right? No male model. Anything else is fine. A farmer, definitely. A surgeon, okay. A farrier, a Burger King assistant manager, a pilot, a party planner. Dude, I canceled my own birthday party last year. I wouldn't be a party planner. Tech sales, roller coaster operator, fisherman, lumberjack, hand model, stripper, chef, emergency room front desk guy. Huh, alright. Billboard ad man, motel manager, medieval jester. Dang, these are some interesting ideas. Well, apparently I will have many talents. Oh, wow, you can wall over this. Okay, that's news to me. Okay, so here's something I wanted to bring up a moment ago, but I got a little sidetracked. I feel as though if I were blue or teal, I would not be so pleased with gray having made so many enemies. Because you're buddies with this guy, and now his enemies are your enemies. Now, I don't know if they picked up on that, but look at red trying to scout around blue's base at the moment. Just something to think about, right? He does have quite a few longbows inside these castles. Britons are an awesome sniping civilization, but they're not so good with mobility, which you might need to move out across the map. Well, I did a lot of sales jobs in the past. The problem is I'm only really good at selling something if I actually really like what I'm selling. And with most sales jobs, it wasn't something that I enjoyed selling. So if anything, I just hated it. My favorite sales job was when I was like 18 to 19. I worked in the home theater department of a Best Buy, which sells like tech stuff, and I did home theater, so like TVs, speakers, and things like that. I was great at that. I was the top salesman in the entire region, which is like dozens of stores over the course of many states. And you know what they did? They gave me a raise from $8.50 an hour to $9.50 an hour, baby. Millions of dollars in sales. No commission job, by the way. Dollar raise. And back then, I was like, I didn't really do the math on that, you know? And I was just like, dang, yeah, baby. I just got a little plaque. I got $1 more an hour for all these sales. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm amazing. And then, you know, now I'm like, dude, why did you... Come on. But I really did enjoy that because I'm good at getting excited about stuff that I like. If I don't like it, sometimes I'm just like, all right, whatever. It's just another day. There's a lot of big, chunky, strong units over here for crackers, if you guys haven't noticed. We've got the Chonkers of the Sea, the turtle ship. And then you've got war wagons. T90, ignore my mills next to my farms. They are for protection. Purple, who changed the chat settings simply for me. And I guess he got really self-conscious here because he realized that Khmer do not need mills for their farms. He probably just has the habit of placing mills and farms. Yeah, you don't actually need that with the Khmer. Okay. And so now some noob is kind of like telling his teammates what to do, basically. There's also a random green demo coming over here. But I think this is like kind of a 4v4. But some of these players aren't necessarily a big part of the planning and conversation. Like Eloyd over here doesn't seem to have really been talking to a lot of people. The only real enemy, the true enemy that exists out there is probably Gray. Microsoft should hire you. I don't know about that. If there's ever, like, if you guys were to all disappear, that might be the direction I go later on in life. Like, hey, you know, I got connections with Microsoft, but then they're just going to be like, how many years did you complain obnoxiously about SpecChat? How many times did you make jokes about this and that, you know? I try and be as fair as possible, but I also, in being as fair as possible at times with certain companies and devs, etc., sometimes it is required to call them out a little bit, which may not be well received behind the scenes. I don't necessarily know. Who else with this is yellow? They're trying to figure this out. And then some noob is still trying to tell... He's trying to tell teal... He's trying to tell crackers to attack red. Like, that's your job. And so, Lieutenant Crockers seems to be going along with it. Do we do a land push on red too? Question mark. Anybody ready? So I think Gray has kind of reversed the orders in which you should do things. I think you should talk to people about a plan, and then you act. Instead, Gray has acted, started a couple fires, and now is expecting his buddies to put them out. He's like, hey, there's a fire there. Hey, there's a fire there. And these guys are like, yo, I'm not ready yet. So they're all trying to catch up, and I feel like it's a lot of pressure for these players. And Lloyd says, almost, who are you allied to? So Lloyd's still trying to gather this information. But you'll notice on the other side is how it should be, I believe. Yellow and purple's like, okay, who's with who? What's the plan? And of course, now they have a common enemy in Gray. Coming there. I'm allied to blue and teal. Talking to you all, nothing to hide. Also, I would say saying nothing to hide always makes me think that you have something to hide. But I could be wrong. You get pulled over after you take a drive down to the local store, pick up some food. You get pulled over by a cop. He says, sir, have you been drinking tonight? No. He doesn't say, sir, you've been drinking tonight. You just say immediately, sir, I haven't been drinking tonight. I don't know why I thought of this example.
Yes.
What's he going to assume? I don't know. Maybe that you have. Bad example because, quite frankly, I'm a little bored. It's 45 minutes. We haven't seen anyone fight yet. We've got Gray, the noob, apparently, ordering people around. Has tons of longbows. And again, we're going to see if Teal actually makes a move. Red seems to sense that something's up here, though. Red sees this and might not trust it. We've got Conics over here, which could eventually be Elite Conics, and they're accompanied by Gray's army. Guys, I want to try this real quick. That's not what I wanted to see. Okay, so for some reason when I show military, it's also still showing some of the TCs. There's different mini-map modes that you can toggle with Capture Age. It does help a little bit more. Again, Kings will explode. Yellow's got 1,000,000 castles. And Crackers now turns on red, which I'm sure you just witnessed. And turtle ships should destroy that number of galleons, so they're going to hold the water for now. Sir, there's absolutely nothing in the trunk. Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's more obvious than what Gray's doing. And to be fair to Gray, Gray's just trying to reassure his teammates, like, hey, I'm keeping you all in the loop here. So again, because of the previous conversation and how things are set up, I think this is how this is going to go. Red says I'm about to be attacked. Yellow says on land as well. And he says yes. And so now Yellow's informed. And so now he could come support in some way, right? Whoa! My capture rate just crashed. I think that's what that was. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that was definitely a capture age crash. That was a really weird one. Let me hope this... I mean, I assume it's going to be fine. Maybe I just clicked something I shouldn't have. Okay, so I'll just click a little bit less, but we are back now and into the game. Missed a little bit of chat, it looks like. Gray says, monks, if we win water, we win the game. And that's an interesting thought. And I think that thought is there because of how this map plays out with how you can sail onto the ice. And speaking of, look at Purple. Purple actually has a transport ship with ballista elephants and trebs ready to snipe somebody. And here comes Green. But Green hasn't ungarrisoned the trebuchets yet. Green's like, where are my trebs? Green, your trebs are in the transport. Oh, he's like, get back inside. Oh, no. Abort, abort, abort. We have a job interview. I repeat, job interview. Soon. Quick. Oh, God. I hope they don't ask you about Age of Empires because you're going to have a story to tell. Oh, geez. What's happening? I do not fully understand what is happening right now. I bet you Teal is confused as well. And Teal did not turn on Green, and Green's now going to sail away with 10 Cav Archers and then the Trebs. Meanwhile, Shulker, Eloyd, and Crackers are all enemies of Dale, and he's going to need some help. The help is here with Yellow's Cav Archers. Those are elite conics, and we've got long posts, which actually aren't elite yet. And the push is definitely going to begin, and the water control is going to be hugely important here too. But guys, meanwhile, you still have purple loading. Okay, I figured it out. 1 second. I think I cannot click transport ships that have ballista elephants in it or something. Because I think that's what I did last time. Capture Age does not like ballista elephants and transport ships. Capture Age has done the math and is like, wait, how can you fit so many of those things in that transport ship? This doesn't add up. Okay, so thankfully, I get to see this happening. And so here comes... Oh, I gotta stop clicking it. God. Okay, here comes purple. It's a habit. And purple's gonna try and sail in here with ballista elephants and trebs. Meanwhile, we've got this massive battle over here. So you have to imagine everyone's distracted. Red is actually running in with Cavaliers, so blue and gray might notice that. But will orange be able to notice this? The ballistas are here. The trebs are here as well. And the king is inside of that crep post there, guys. It's going to be extremely hard to kill the ballista elephants. So I think if you're purple, you just need to get next to that building. Don't worry about your trebs too much. Your trebs are probably going to kill it. Just get next to the building quickly so you can kill that king. Remember, purple's got the big ball of units on the front right now. Purple also probably just saw blue run through, and there is the king from orange, and he is running towards the trebuchets and towards the units that are coming home to save the day. WDW Kid, unfortunately, a little late to the party. Did realize that the king's moved, but hasn't been able to snipe it yet. Can't seem to find it, it looks like. Looking around. It's right there. Red can see it. And now orange might not know where it is. This is stressful. Does red notice that? I think red notices that. And the king dies. Guys, this explosion can kill Shulker. Shulker is right here with his king. It is exploding kings. Red's still running around, by the way. I'm sure Shulker is distracted. Will Shulker realize this is trouble? Orange is the first to go down. The explosion happens. A lot of things die, but Shulker still survives. Included in that, actually, I have to rewind, guys, because this is just going to be... It's simply too many dying units to miss. Boom. Massive explosions to kill the armies and the buildings, and orange is out of the picture. So, again, as Dale says, ouch, because a lot of units died. Wait. Wait. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Thank God we can rewind. Man, I'm so embarrassed. Who did that? Ah, Crackers did that. So Crackers is over here pretty much at the same time. And it's really hard for me to see teal on green. And then he ended up getting the kill. Okay, so green can get to his job interview. I think we're all caught up now. Then we, of course, are going to see orange die, so there's going to be explosions on both sides, and then we're going to have 6 people left. T90 blind, make the jokes. T90 blind, haha, funny, funny. I can't help but these guys are really aggressive. Well done, Lieutenant Crackers. Should have expected that one from you. There you go. So green said that was mean, and now you've got people on both flanks having some problems. Still do have the original 3 on each side, though. Remember, gray had reached out to blue. There's the other explosion we already saw. Gray reached out to blue and to teal. And then you had purple combining with red and yellow. So this is currently a 3v3. All right. Well, that makes more sense then. Yellow says, lol, thought it wouldn't reach. Oh, with the units probably. So yeah, you know, sometimes community games, you have the backstabbers. You have the players who try and talk to the other side and scheme. Honestly, I'm just not getting that vibe from this game. I think this is going to be a straight-up 3v3 because, again, Gray said, hey, you two, you're my allies. And then Gray got him and his allies to attack the other 3. There's no big reason, currently, for anyone on any team to really switch sides. Unless, I think it would make sense if... And where's that king at? The king is there. You realize your team's going to die, right? So if you feel as though the writing's on the wall for your team, then it does make sense to possibly switch sides. All right. But well played, Eloyd, and just out of range. I'll be honest. I actually believe that both deaths there have gray to blame. I do not think orange dies early if orange does not do the bidding of gray. I do not think green dies early if gray did not decide, hey, we're going to focus on that player earlier with the fishing ships and then tell his teammate to do that. Gray's king is here. And I talked about gray before. Like, longbows are really strong, but they're so slow. But yeah, he was just relocating. So I think all the kings are safe. And purple says, how are we doing? Now, for what it's worth, I think that Tatars, Chinese, and Khmer, overall, it's a much better stack in a 3v3 than the Vikings, Britons, and the Koreans, excuse me. Mainly because there's just not a lot of good cavalry available for the I guess the South team, the Southern team. That said, though, the Navy can be really strong for the Southern team, and I think you can utilize that. Then also, you do get Siege Onager on that team with the Koreans. So you're going to want Crackers to be alive and well. Yellow comes in, though, and he's going to turn on Shulker. And, I mean, we've got Ballista Elephants with 13,000 HP, Cav Archers with 4,000 HP, and Shulker could die to this. Like, and it might not be very difficult for them to do this either. Even though he has all the HP upgrades, I think the Ballista Elephants are going to melt this castle. And you can tell Capture Age is confused in there. Shulker realizes this and runs away. Look, we've got a coordinated 3-person team all over here attacking Shulker. Shulker's biggest regret? Maybe not his biggest regret, but the biggest reason this is happening to him is because he is teamed with the bully. He's teamed with Gray. And Gray probably felt like, I need to make sure I have established teammates. Maybe didn't realize in the moment just how negative that was going to be for him and his comrades. Anyways, the Ballista Elephants are such a good unit, guys. I talked about it in the YouTube upload over the last couple weeks. It's expensive to get to, but if you can get to it, very hard to stop. And now Gray is actually moving with his king down here. And treason has been researched, and WDW Kid is signaling that Shulker's king is going this direction. Not something that's good for Teal or Gray, that Shulker is sending his king that is a bomb towards their bases for safety. Shulker says, I'm getting killed. And yeah, Shulker's base is not going to exist soon. I wonder if, in these moments, guys, I always think about what players could do. And I think it's just so easy for us and so difficult for them when they're in game. But how epic would it be if someone were to reach out to Shulker and say, hey, what can I do for you to kill Gray? Or what can I do for you to kill Teal? Or even, hey, Shulker, would you do me a favor? If you're going to die, you want to, I don't know, maybe just, like, delete that king in Gray's base for me? My initial statement was going to be offer Shulker resources to delete his king in Gray's base. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, Shulker's not going to be able to use those resources if he's dead. Now, Crackers is here to help. Has the war wagons, has some halbs. Shulker obviously has lost the majority of his base now. And some noob said I dislike Britons a moment ago. He certainly has struggled to have all that army work the moments that I think he would want him to work. Like, he has the army, but they're just running all around the map all the time. It's so slow. So as of now, Shulker's king shares the castle with Gray's king. Still a 3v3. And still red and yellow and purple continue their push. Offered anyways, maybe he won't notice. True. I mean, the worst thing that can happen is that he just doesn't accept. And if he doesn't accept, nothing changes. There's a signal from purple here. And so purple must continue to research treason, I guess. And oh my god, guys, look at this. Oh, this is epic. I don't know if they've noticed this, but this castle just went up from Crackers. It is in the enemy trade, and it will destroy every single trade card if they don't deal with it. This is a massive move from him. Because if he's losing teammates, That's one thing, but at least he has trade. If these guys don't have gold units, it's a very different situation. Gray is asking Lieutenant Crackers to go for siege, which is something Crackers has done. I think what Crackers needs is forward siege workshops. I talk about it a lot in 1v1 games. Britain's very hard to push with. Very hard to push. Though I will say in this case, you know, the Britons look pretty easy to push. Gray, of course, just has had to deal with so many raids. Base is wide open. I think the unit you'd want with Vikings, because Vikings struggle with, like, Britons to really have a unit that has a lot of strength and population. With Vikings, it's normally strength in numbers, but I think Elite Berserk would have been the play. If you ask me what unit I want with Vikings in post-Imperial Age, it's going to be the Berserk. Gray says, okay, guys, I'm going to help you out in a bit. Or I'm going to help you out a bit is what Gray says. Is that what I think it means? This castle is going to be dealt with. A lot of the trade went down, though. All the kings are moving positions right now. Blue's leaving. You then have Gray leaving. My instincts tell me that this is Gray giving up. And Gray is going to try and get his king to hit one of the enemy players here. Right? Maybe he doesn't feel like this is possible otherwise. Someone's got to do it. Here goes the king. We'll go to what Gray can see. Is Gray allied with yellow? Whoa, what? Why is Gray... Wait, what? That's very weird. I didn't know he was allied with yellow. Well, here's the king then. So if he's allied with yellow, he can see all of this. And he can run in through yellow's gates. That said, he's kind of trapped himself here. He maybe thought there was a hole there. Okay, you're still trapped. That's such a big mistake from yellow. Again, this is Gray's point of view. And he's going to ask Teal to delete the wall here. Gray going to suicides his purple. Purple saw that because he was allied with green. He saw the king moving. Remember, he's researched treason a bunch of times. He researched treason again there, too. Great job from him to use treason in this game. You don't see it used too frequently, but it's like 800 gold. And I'm sure these guys have a stockpile of gold. And Gray saw the yellow cav archers running this way. And he says, yellow, why? Now, you know exactly why, because you were going to use that on him. I love how Cracker says, don't kill me. And Gray's like, no, I was going for yellow, but that plan's not going to work. But a transport could work, guys. A transport might be your best way to do it. All right, so Gray was going to go for yellow. Again, it's just not looking like they have a chance. I'm going to go, though, to the stockpile real quick. You can see the gold banked up. Shulker can come back in this game. Gray could probably do it as well, to be honest. Gray's resources are awesome. It's just a matter of if they really feel like they could do it. Whether that be civilizations, ability, or just if they realize how good the opponents might be. If a transport with the king goes down, there's no explosion. The king obviously does die, though. So you need to be out of the transport in order for there to be an explosion. Wouldn't it be something if there was an explosion in the water, but the explosion caused some type of like a tsunami? Oh my god, the elephants are floating away! Oh! I don't want to give the devs any ideas. Then there's going to be like the next expansion is going to be like, this civilization's trebuchets float 50% more. Blue, can you send only trebs? Says Gray. To where? My question. Maybe here? Yeah, ballista elephants. I think they're an insane unit. I don't think they should have received a Castle Age buff. And I think they are one of the strongest units that you can get to in the Imperial Age. Especially in team games. And actually, mainly in team games, because that's how you can get the gold. You pretty much need siege onagers. With a combination of some units in front to counter this. Blue is massing water. Gray is massing water. They could kill kings with full water control. They could also raid trade with full water control. This is a great idea from Shulker. He's dropping castles towards the corner so we can continue to have his trade. He's now leaving with his king. Yeah, I also don't think monks are really the best idea. Because it's 100 gold a pop. And there's just so many. Like, you need to be able to kill everything faster. And yeah, I think monks is also just too much focus. You can see even then, that's 2 direct shots from a siege onager. Is just not much you can do. You need to have 5 to 10 siege onagers and a bunch of halbs in front, but of course the halbs always die. So they're going to try what they can here, guys. And we'll see how long it takes these players to remember water exists, because they've pretty much given up on water. And if you've got Vikings with elite longboat, if you've got Koreans with these Britons, excuse me, with the cannon galleons, and then maybe Koreans on water as well, if Teal survives this push, crazy things can happen. But they need to push fast, because soon Teal's going to die, and if Teal dies, they will lose that corner, and they won't have the trade any longer. Red's doing a fine job here pushing back on land. It's just, they've got to kill them fast here. Go knights, blue, question mark. Well, that would be a mistake. Vikings have some pretty bad knights. Again, I think berserks would be the way to do it. Looking at Shulker's stockpile. He doesn't have a lot on food, but he still has 5,000 food, so he could go berserks. Vikings have some of the worst knights in the game. And because these elephants are so freaking strong, purple has researched treason, knows there must be a king around here, and is just going to run on through. I would like to see rams, though. Like, I feel like running past is fine, but at least, like, take out their buildings if you have control. Where's Shulker's navy? Where did he put that? Didn't he? Oh, wow. Okay, that makes sense, actually. So, it's impossible for these guys to pass, then, if those longboats are on patrol there. Now, as I say that, he seems to be going to accompany Gray, but still. Bear with me, guys. Just going to drink some water. Yeah, it's true. I guess an exploding king is pretty effective against ballista elephants. All right. So the king was in here, and the king is now moving from Lieutenant Crackers, which tells you Lieutenant Crackers just doesn't believe that he's going to be able to keep that castle up. Gray is here helping ever so slowly. I don't think this army is going to last forever. The king is now in a transport ship. Again, the important thing, I think, if they want any chance, is the longboats loop over this way. Ooh, I see what Shulker's doing. But now his base is getting pushed. Oh, no. So he wants to kill Red, and he wants to use the ice to be able to dominate them. But in doing so, he has left himself exposed at home because the units were able to cross the ice pattern there. Also, WDW will lose his ballista elephants. Tricky for Shulker, I imagine. But he's now realizing his mistake. I think going 50-50 would have been the play, right? Like 50% of your units with your cannon galleons, 50% here. Whoa, look at that big box on the mini-map. That's the king, guys. I think that must be a graphic bug. It's supposed to look like all the other kings, but man, that certainly helped me pay attention to it. And so the king has been transported across here, and so Crackers, it feels like he's dead. He runs in there and he loses his king, so Teal's out of the picture. However, I don't think this explosion is going to kill the other players here. Braces truce. And I'll zoom out for the explosion. Red's laughing, like, why would I ever accept a truce? And says no. And the explosion happens, but again, Red's still alive. And purple's still alive. And Gray, obviously, a little disappointed the truce wasn't accepted. But again, why on earth would you accept a truce at this stage? Oh, the Berserks are here, though. Now, they're missing upgrades, but Berserks, being elite and all that, if they get a few more armor upgrades, should be able to clear this no problem. So we've had 3 players die so far. Cracker's trying to go out with a bang properly there. Unfortunately, didn't see the king. Or the castle, I guess, which killed this king. The timing has been better with that, but it's always tough when you've just got the king. And he was under a lot of pressure at home. Didn't really receive a ton of help over the last few moments either. Guys, everyone who has had some type of interaction with Gray has died so far. Teal and Orange both died due to their alliance with Gray. And then Green, of course, was like only enemy to Teal because of Gray. Like I said at the start, for better or for worse, some noob really is going to change this game. Gray says, that's the castle. Let's go blue north. They must be thinking about making a move. There must have been a signal I missed as well about making a move to kill that king. Well, I mean, this is fine for the longboats as long as you don't have castle fire. Sitting here is perfect. Would love to see these players over here make some docks. I think the only way that yellow and purple and red lose is if they forget about water completely. Some demo ships would be awesome. Shulker's asking for some extra food. Remember, I did mention that might be an issue for Shulker earlier in the game. Here, again, here's a quick glance at the resources if you guys want to see it. Yellow's my clear favorite, looking at these resources. Yellow's got crazy position. I guess we'll see. If they send resources to each other, I should be able to see that. I just can't see if they're using the market at all, so. Grace is sending demos. Ooh, nice. Yep, Britain's get heavy demo. But can you imagine if the defenders were to go for demos? I feel like the demos combined with their light cav would be really strong. Okay, so this is quite possibly the bet. Wait, what? Oh my god, did Gray... Guys. I don't think this is intentional. There's a king and there are longbows inside of that castle. He says sending demos and army, we snipe red. He did not say sending demos and army and my king, we snipe red. I mean, maybe it is intentional. And funnily enough, if his king would have stayed here, it might die to purple, who's rolling into town. But does he know that king is in there? Shulker's like, where are we going? And yeah, they're saying going all the way through here, which means they would have to take out the gate, but they could do that. That block is crazy there. And yeah, okay, here comes the ballista elephants, here come the cav archers, here come the trebs. And maybe it was intentional from Gray because the timing sure seemed like it. Shulker says walled the ice. Well, yeah, you want to just take out the gate. Ideally, Gray will help you with that. I mean, if they're going to come in here again, they probably should take out the castle as well. But they're getting really worried here. Getting really concerned this isn't going to work out for them much longer. Shulker could die next to this, of course. Gray's going to lose his entire base. So it would make sense for Gray, if he's going to lose his entire base, to have that king there just so he could explode the enemy if the attack doesn't work out. Yeah, this castle here is going to go down, but it had 22 kills before it died. All really expensive ships. Here comes the king and the longbows. It's a true king, guys. It's a true king. He wants to lead the way with his people. Most kings just want to get fat and happy and sit in their castle and let their people die. Actually, I'd say it's a rare king then. He's a true leader. All right, here come the longboats. That is a lot of cav, though. I thought the Navy would be a good idea, but I'm not so sure anymore. There's not enough demos. And so now the boat's sailing away here. And Shulker says he moved it. And yes, he did. He moved it. That king is currently over in Purple's base. But yeah, they've realized for a while now they're probably going to die. Ready, ready, ready. Boom. And so they kind of went for it there. Fortunately for them, it's not working. More demos coming in, though. Love to see more light cap go down, but no real reason for red to try and engage against that, I guess. The push continues here, by the way. Shulker may be able to defend from it, though. He's got Navy on the right, and then he has the infantry here. And the king is still in this transport ship. If that transport ship gets shot down, he's defeated, and there will be no explosion. Oh, he got out! And now there's an explosion. I'm really curious to see Gray's reaction to this. Did Gray know? Gray might be like, how did I die? Gray might not understand that exactly. Wait. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. Red's king inside of Purple's castle. Purple controls that. The king and the villager eject. It was both at the same time, which tells me Purple pressed eject. And he also set the gather point in Yellow's base and waited. Oh my god, this is so epic. He waited so it was as close to Yellow as possible. He kills Red, which Red would never expect. And so we have Gray out of the picture. We have Red out of the picture. And if Yellow doesn't notice this, Yellow will also be out of the picture. This is the perfect use of exploding kings here from WDW, who's going to make this a 1v1. Wow. That was an epic move there from Purple, who maybe felt like the writing was on the wall. And he says, and then there were two. Well, who wins? Obviously, Dale now says Shulker wins. Like, Dale's like, well, I was needed. He ruined our alliance. I was needed. Dang, what a moment. That was an awesome move from WDW, kid. And he's been around. He's been around for years watching community games. Has actually played in quite a few. People make the joke that he's rigged. But we've watched him grow as a player. And his strategy was epic. Now, what also is kind of epic is how many kills it says Red has on Kings up here. Pretty wild, that one there. And he says, sorry, guys. Saw my opportunity. Well, let's look at resources. They both should have trade. We have 12,000 gold for Shulker with 32 on gold. We have 12,000 gold for WDW Kid with 49 on gold. So his trade still runs here. Amount on food is actually 0 for Shulker, which is a massive concern with what he wants to make. But of course, he could go Navy. And Navy could still be super successful. I think he's just got to be aggressive with it. I mean, my feeling right now, as we have, of course, a 1v1, is that... Oh, yeah, Shulker's also trading on water, too, which I should point out. Yeah, my feeling right now is that Purple will win this game because of his... Shulker's making a wonder! What a play! What an awesome play! This is your win condition. If you don't think you can beat that guy, you can go for a wonder victory. Also, again, shout out to Capture Age, who fixed the program I used to cast recently. So, Wonder Victory now shows. Otherwise, I would have never picked up on it. But you can also see the WDW Kid is also trying to build a Wonder, which makes sense, but he's way behind in the Wonder race. There's no way. This has all the villagers you could possibly have around it, and there's a 30% lead. There's absolutely no way this Wonder is going to do anything here. I guess in theory, if, like, you kill Blue's Wonder and not the King, then your Wonder will be standing later. But another great move in this game of someone understanding how they could possibly get the win. Obviously, with Purple, it was an amazing snipe. But here with Blue, it's all about that win condition. And let's see how it goes from here, folks. I think they both would have researched Treadmill Crane by now. So they could build a little bit faster. But yeah, you still have to keep your King alive if you're Shulker. In theory, though, you could just have the King and the Wonder and nothing else. And you just got to wait till that gets to 0 years. WDW Kid really likes to do this. He likes to run underneath castles. And when you've got Ballista Elephants, I can't really blame you, but I don't see how you're going to be able to take out the King here. With this many castles, it should be impossible. Also, I forget what the Viking Wonder looks like. But I remember what the Khmer one looks like, interestingly enough. We will have forward production buildings now for Purple. which I think will be important in his quest to pushing Shulker. Also, Shulker is trying to make a move on water. And my tip to him would be, don't go in here with the castles. Take out the castle, man. Take out the castle. There's the wonder. Oh, of course I remember that wonder. Just don't eject the king. Okay. So, Shulker... Oh, God. Man, guys. You both did some epic things in this game, but you're getting too excited now. You're both just losing all your stuff, and it's so unnecessary. Just take out the castles, for the love of God. Blue had what felt like nothing to defend from that, if there was siege. And purple had nothing to defend from that if the units would have gone after the castles, but now the castles have insane amounts of kills. 12, plus 10, plus 13, plus 13. Whereas here you've got like 8, plus 6, plus 10, plus 10, plus 9. Well, the wonder will go up for purple like I mentioned, but the countdown will be later. We have a 300-year countdown. Shulker should probably shift all of his focus into defending now. And included in that would be awesome for him to get his navy over here, if possible. I'm okay with the move that Shulker made there, because purple was probably sending everything forward. It was just not taking out the castles was a little suspect there. Let's check Shulker's food count again. This is high-pressure stuff, guys. You got to have everything together in a 1v1. I don't know, man. 0 on food is a problem. 0 on food is a massive problem. And maybe he feels like the wonder's just a distraction here. Like, maybe he doesn't think he can genuinely win with this. Because it certainly doesn't seem like he's doubling and tripping down. Or tripling down, excuse me, on defending this at the moment. He is going to make some pikes, though. He also doesn't see much of this, so he doesn't know how big the force is right now from his opponent. I think if he knew this, he would probably shift his navy over this way. Do longboats get bonus versus siege? I don't know if they have a bonus versus siege, but I know they do really good against siege. So let's put it that way. But I just don't know if it's classified as a bonus. Vikings don't get halberdier, but they do have pikemen with chieftains. And chieftains means you do +5 attack versus cavalry, I think. Which obviously helps a bit. Yeah, like these here, these can be taking out castles like it's nothing. And if you take out the castles, the kings won't have anywhere to be safe. Obviously, purple could run, but still. Okay, purple. Gonna run into green's demo. Too bad they're allied. Oh, did he delete? I think he deleted it. They were allied, right? Yeah, they were allied. I think he wanted to run back here, but there's a wall. But he can't do that. Man, that's like, this is like 100 military, guys. Blue can't defend from this. If there's siege ram in, which Khmer do get, just don't know. Countdowns at the top of your screens. Blue is coming this way with the navy. I feel like if there was ever a time for purple to make a move, it would be now when you see the navies coming in and when you have all this army. Shulker obviously terrified that that wonder will be destroyed here. I think you're okay to fall back to your castles, right? You're okay to give up some of this space. You just still need to mass as big an army as you can to just keep it alive. And then you have to let your navy do the work. And this is what I meant earlier, right? Those castles go down so quickly. And if the longboats follow, which is not going to be easy for Shulker to think of because of the attack, but it is doable, then maybe purple might lose the king. Or houses, or buildings, or trade. You know, there's a lot of things that could be affected by this. Still no siege ram for purple, but clearly thinking about starting the push. Red's going to come in and help from the dead here. Shulker is coming in with longboats, though, so eventually Shulker will have the support, and here they come. All right. Should have put the king on a boat. Well, Yes and no. I feel like if you lose the king, you're going to lose the wonder anyways. And if you lose the wonder, then you're probably going to lose the game. So I'm not necessarily sure. There's a potential for more things to go wrong if you try and do that, I guess. The Shulker takes out another castle. The longboats are now here to help, which should lead to the other castles going down as well. Seadram is now coming in for WDW. This composition seems impossible to stop. 200 years is simply too long for Shulker to hold, I think. So Shulker needs to hope and pray that he can get a king kill. There's only 2 cannon galleons left. I still think the castle will end up going down, but the navy could end up going down eventually here too. And those castles going down does not finish purple, but purple's army moving into blue's base could finish blue. This game had its moments, right? Like, for a while, I think there wasn't as many backstabs as people would have wanted. But man, that epic play. We've had a few epic snipes, actually. And then, especially near the tail end here, right? Obviously, the big move that purple made on red and yellow, simultaneously killing both of his allies at the same time to put himself into this 1v1. But then also, not just that, as this castle did survive, the big play from Shulker to say, I need a wonder involved. Because without the wonder, there would have been no chance for him, and he had to do it before his opponent did. But like I said, as someone says Shulker could have ran away, I just don't think that helps you here. I think that your king running just means you're going to die regardless. And treason was researched yet again by WDW. He knew exactly where that king was going to be, and he kills it. So the stats show that he only killed 2 kings here, but realistically, he killed more than that. He did kill Yellow's king as well. And he played a big part in some of the other kills throughout this game. WDW gets the win. And a game, like I said, that had its moments, but started off kind of as a team game. A 3v3 or 4v4 turned into something different than I expected. That was well played. I love how Gray had the kiss of death thing going on there for a while. Anyone Gray wanted to be teamed with, anyone Gray touched was just dying. That was kind of funny to me. Gray clearly was like Mr. Business in this game, was like, hey, you and me, we go there, brah. I don't think Gray was necessarily trying to put a big target on his back, but at the end of the day, you know, when you start attacking people's fishing ships, they're going to remember that. That ended up leading to some of the flanks going down, like orange, of course, and eventually teal. Though I guess the way teal went down was a bit different than that. Teal did try and end up killing red there. We'll look at the KD this game. And I'm sure we're all shocked that the player who won the game, but also made a ton of ballista elephants, had 1,000 kills and 500 deaths. Very pop-efficient unit. It was a big issue for Shulker and some others. It's like they just didn't really have a lot of high HP units to work with their civilizations, particularly Vikings that go with a lot of infantry. Yeah, you're probably going to have some problems there against the ballistas. I think that Gray and Blue realized the potential of water a little late in this game. Obviously, they did focus on it a lot, but if they would have been able to focus on water before some of the other players got picked off, I think they could have done more to the others' trades and also the castles, etc. Also, chat English, please, if possible. I don't know exactly what. But anyways, Eco, more for WDW Kid. A lot of that was trade, though. A trade with the allies that he eventually blew up. Now, I don't know if Dale's upset. I don't know if Yellow's upset. Or if they're just going to sit here and say, honestly, respect, dude, because that was epic. But I would hope that they would have respect for it because the way that worked was incredible. WDW says here in chat, my heart was racing a million miles a minute when I saw the opportunity with the Reds King in my castle. It was just so well planned because I was thinking, how do you take out Yellow when Yellow has 10 castles like that? And of course, Red has to flee. You ungarrison it right next to Yellow's castles and boom. Ivan says, respect, I guess, frowny face. And Dale says, nah, not upset. Was going to nuke Yellow anyways. You hear that, Yellow? Do you hear that? Your teammates, your pals, they both wanted to kill you. Well, anyways, I still hope that people had fun. It was still a pretty good game. One thing I'm going to have to update people on later is it did just out of range get the job. I used a community game as a warm-up for a job interview. Not currently in our chat, probably currently in the interview. Maybe he's going to be like the next CEO of Microsoft or something. For all we know. Who knows? Good luck just out of range. Hopefully you get that job, bud.